Let's be honest, dating today's world can feel like a maze. But here's the thing, not all women are operating on the same level in relationships, and there are stages. And we're going to break them down in this video, the 5 levels of wife material. My name is Jumoke Win, and I'm one half of When I Love. My husband and I, we coach single Christian women to meet, date, and marry eligible Christian men. If that sounds like something you'd be interested in, make sure that you do subscribe and you hit that bell so that you can get more great notifications, because at the end of this video, you're going to see exactly where you rank. And this is not to shame you. This is just so that you can see where you are right now and what it takes to move to the next level. So level number 1 is situationships. Okay, so usually a woman who is in situationship, she's talking to men with no commitment. She's stuck in the cycle. Maybe it doesn't even lead to dates. It doesn't lead to dates. She finds herself pen paling men for months on end. For some women, up to a year that they're talking to a man. No date is established. No relationship is established. And you might feel frustrated because you've wasted a lot of time with men who never choose you. But here is the issue that you're having. That's low to no standards. So you're chasing men instead of being chosen by men. So with women like this, they don't have any standards. Like if you're talking to a man and pen paling a man, what a lot of women do in this level is that they constantly blame everything on men. Oh my gosh, why are men like this? Why don't men do this? He didn't do this. He didn't do that. And they don't take accountability for their own actions. I always say that no one can waste your own time. This idea of he wasted my time, it just lacks accountability. No one can waste your time if you chose to stay there. If you are in a situation or a situationship and he doesn't want commitment from you, if you are a woman who has the standard of you have to be committed to me to continuously have access to me, then you wouldn't be there, right? Then you wouldn't be there, okay? So the fix is you need to implement a risk management strategy. All right, so this is a term that my husband and I, we use when we coach women, and that means you need to give a man a predetermined amount of time to take things to the next stage, okay? And for you, how long before a guy has access to you? You guys are getting to know each other, you guys are texting, you guys are talking. How long are you going to give him before he asks you on a date? How long are you going to give him before he makes you his girl, before he makes things exclusive? How long are you going to be exclusive with a man before you wait for him to propose? How long are you going to wait for a man to propose until the actual white man paperwork is signed? You need to know this before time, because I always say that it doesn't make sense to try to learn to swim when you're already drowning, okay? You need to have a plan beforehand, not just sit there and then nag men to do what you want them to do. No, you just have to move according to your own timeline and what feels comfortable. If you see that a man is not pushing any dates forward, then stop giving him access, right? Like you just tell him very politely, very sweetly, thank you so much for your time. I want to make sure I'm available for my husband when he shows up, or I want to make sure I'm available for a man who wants to take things more seriously with me. But thank you so much for your time. But you don't keep giving men your undivided, your unearned time without any clarity of his intentions for you. There has to be some type of clarity of pursuit. And another thing is that you have to get clear on your standards, which goes into what I just said, but you have to be clear on your pursuit and how you expect a man to treat you. If you want a man to pursue you and to commit to you, don't stick around if he's not. I always tell women, stop manufacturing your own unhappiness. You can't say that I hate when men don't commit to me and then you stick around for them to waste your time. Why? Okay, he's not clear. He doesn't want to be with you. He may not be in the market for marriage. That's fine. Throw that fish back into the pond and you go find a man that you are more compatible with, more aligned with, who meets your standards. Now, level 2 is what I call the casual dater. At level 2, you're getting attention from men. So women at level 2 who are casual daters, men might take you out, but it rarely goes beyond the first few dates. you look the part, but you may not be engaging, feminine, or positioned around the right type of man. So think about it like this. It's like a product market fit. This is what we call it in marketing, right? You might have a certain product, but you're trying to find the market that will buy that product. So you might get a lot of eyes, right? So it could be, if you're a casual dater and you go on dates, but it's rarely like a second date, like men want to talk to you, they get your number, you're getting attention, but it doesn't progress past that point. It's either A, the men that you are attracting, right? They like you. You're probably a pretty girl. You're probably hot. Okay, men approach you, but either A, the men that you are attracting are not marriage minded. That's a possibility, right? Maybe you're just not positioned around enough marriageable men, right? Or B, it might be you, right? Which I always like to lean towards like just taking accountability, but it might be either. It might be you and you might be boring, right? So we have some clients who, cute girls, but my gosh, right? Like they are so boring. It's almost like pulling teeth talking to them. And I can only imagine how it will feel like for a man on the receiving end, wow, this girl is really boring. Or even just through text, there's no emotions, there's no LOL, not even LOL, not LOL, nary an emoji in sight, nary a ha, lack of emotionalism, complete lack of emotions, completely cold, and they seem a little bit detached from themselves. They seem emotionally unavailable, right? So it's not just about being pretty, but the fix is you need to refine your targeting. A, like I said, maybe you are not attracting marriage-minded men. Or B, it might be about connecting deeper with men so that men get to see, because men want to see you again, right? It might be about forming an emotional connection and learning to connect with your, especially with your femininity, connect with your heart, not being so in a box and trying to be perfect and you don't have any type of personality. You're just there. Or being afraid to be rejected and you're not real, right? I always say that men don't fall in love with perfect women, they fall in love with real women. Trying so hard to be perfect, sometimes it turns men off because it's like you're very robotic. It's just A plus B equals C, and you're overthinking everything to say and it doesn't flow naturally. And men can sense when this feels forced. It doesn't really feel like there's much here, there's much chemistry, that she really likes me. It's just like very professional, very HR. Hi, brother in Christ. Hi, sister in Christ. There's not much going on. All right. Now, level 3 is the girlfriend. Okay, so this is where a lot of women get stuck. Okay, so you get commitment, but it, like, let's say your commitment, you always find yourself in dead end relationships. And the issue is that you become a forever girlfriend, or what I call a foster girlfriend. A lot of women find themselves in that position, that they become a foster girlfriend to a man until he finds his forever home. So you're just a pit stop, but they don't end up marrying you. I had one of our clients, she had this issue, and even she wasn't even in relationships. She was called the almost girlfriend because it seems like she would almost make it to commitment, but there was just always something, right? And this usually how it looks is that you start to settle into a routine with the man. You get into a relationship, y'all settle into a routine, but it never progresses. Okay. Now, what is the fix? The fix is to be upfront about your desire for marriage from the jump. Don't look for a boyfriend, look for a husband. A lot of women, they get caught in what I call the girlfriend trap because they're not thinking with the end goal in mind. It's just, oh, a guy likes me. He said that he likes me. I'm pretty and I'm just going to stay in this relationship, give him all the wifey benefits, give him all the wifey privileges. I'm not vetting him anymore. He's still vetting me, but I'm just hopeful, I guess. Maybe one day he might marry me, but I'm not thinking about marriage anytime soon. If you're not thinking about marriage anytime soon, you shouldn't be dating. And I always tell people this. My husband and I, we tell people that if you're not ready for marriage, don't date, because it's just a waste of time, because you're really going to get hurt at the end of it. A lot of women find themselves, even as single mothers, at the end of it, you find yourself in a long-term sexual relationship with a man. You start to form a deep emotional tie with this man, and it's hard to break free. And then you become what I call his concubine, and you join his harem. because he never actually married you and you just become his live-in wife without the standard of a ring. Okay, instead of just finding yourself in relationships after relationship, you have to vet men. Relationships and exclusivity, it doesn't mean anything. And I keep telling women this, but it does not mean anything. Women take it for more than what it is, and that's how they get played, because they're taking it as, oh my gosh, this is it. You don't get the white man paperwork. You get nothing, right? Being a girlfriend, God does not recognize this as anything. The government does not recognize this as anything. Society doesn't recognize this as anything. If he was to break up with you tomorrow and go and marry someone else the next day, nobody's going to fault him. They're going to look at you like, why did you give him everything? So you need to position yourself as a wife and not just a placeholder until he figures out what he wants. And with the other levels, I also recommend, again, you need to put a man on a risk management strategy. By the way, you do not tell a man that you're putting him on a risk management strategy. The risk management strategy is for you. It is what you have in your mind. It is not something that you're doing to manipulate a man, to put his hands behind his back. You're not giving him ultimatums. If you don't marry me by this time, then I'm gone. No. Unless if he brings up a conversation about timelines, which he might early on, then you mention, this is my timeline, this is what I'm expecting. But after that, you do not bring it up again. He heard you. He didn't forget. It didn't get misplaced in his mind. He heard you, right? After that, you just move accordingly, okay? Once the timer runs out, you need to leave. Okay? So if your risk management strategy, for most women, it's between 6 months to a year that, most women who get the ring in a reasonable amount of time, this is how long that they're going to wait. They're not going to sit here and wait 5 years before a ring. Now, if that's your risk management strategy, I think that it should be shortened, especially for you as a woman, because you don't need 5 years to determine if someone is who you want to be with or not. You really don't. You just need to have tough conversations early on, vet each other well, right? And perhaps meet each other's family, maybe get some premarital counseling, have difficult conversations, and then go from there. And if you guys don't align, it's better that you know early on, and before you drag it out for so long that you fall into a sunken cost fallacy, that okay, we're not aligned, we're not going to work, let's us break up before we find ourselves 5 years down the road knowing that we had these issues from the beginning. Hello. Okay. Now level 4 is wifey. Okay, this is when men identify the wife potential in you. So they start courting you seriously, but you start to see this pattern of they back out, right? Now, a lot of women think wifey is like, wow, like I've made it, okay? But not necessarily, because even though men are identifying that, wow, you're wifey, wow, you'll make a great wife, wow, you'll make a great mother, wow, you are so great, they don't marry you. Wow, you're a great wife for someone, but not for me, is essentially what they're saying. Just as women, we say, oh yeah, you would make someone really happy. What does that mean? Wow, you're a great man. You would make someone really happy one day. Okay? Now, I do think in this level, it has a lot to do more with the men than with you. There are some things that you can work on, but really, it's because the men that you're dating, often it's because they're not ready emotionally, mentally, or financially, even spiritually ready to take things to the next step. Okay, so the issue is not always you. And what's the fix? You need to just target men who are actually ready for marriage. They're marriage minded. Not every man is in the same season that you are. And you need to stop entertaining men who cannot go all the way with you. They can't go to the altar with you. So this looks like you might actually be a wife, right? You might be showing up, you might be doing all the right things, like you have a sense of maturity, you're ready for marriage, but the men that are around you, they see that, they're like, wow, she's so pretty, and then they start to get to know you and, oh, this girl is serious and I'm not. That can happen. And they start to back out because they fear like, oh, I might waste this girl's time. So they're doing you a favor because they see the value in you. That's, don't get too hurt about that. It's just some men still want to be hot boys, right? They're not ready to settle down. They're not ready to have a family. They're not ready to tie the knot. They're still in a season of sowing their royal oats. So at that point, you need to just be better at targeting men who are minded and are on a similar path as you are in this season of life. The other side to this, how it could be you, is that you may not, when you hear men say that, oh, you're too good for me, or oh, you seem to have your life together, or, oh, this and that, sometimes it's because they see you more as a superior. They see you more as, let me not say superior, they see you more like as a mother, but not necessarily as a wife. There might be that missing suitability that they're not getting from you. And sometimes we have to be careful because we can confuse being a man's mother with being his helpmate. And you may not come off as being his helpmate, even though you have a lot of good characteristics, mature characteristics about you that would make you a great wife and a mother, but more so a mother than a wife. And you may not know how to be a man's piece. You may not know how to collaborate with a man, and a man can often sense that, okay, she has her life together, she's very mature, she's a prayer warrior, but she is not bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. Like, I feel like she's not here with me. Like, she's not here with me. She's doing her own thing over there, and she's doing a great job at doing her own thing over there. But can she come with me over here and submit to my vision for life? Can she actually submit to me and work with me as a man, even though she has all these great characteristics? So sometimes it's an issue of, I hate to say this, but are you submissive, right? Are you submissive? Are you able to collaborate with the man? Can you partner with the man? Or do you just do all this stuff over here? So sometimes, I'm trying to women-splain it for you, this could be, okay, could be, what men are trying to communicate when they're saying that, yeah, you had your wifey, yeah, you're too good for me. When they say stuff like that, it could be that. But that's just a little tangent. Now, last, level 5 is the one, okay? I'm quoting it because I don't really believe in the concept of the one, but I'm trying to frame it in a certain way. This means a man has chosen you as the one, right? You are the one for him. This is the goal, okay? This comes with commitment, comes with proposal, and comes with a plan for the future. But here's the truth. This stage is about two things, okay? It's important to understand two things about the stage. One, the man, when it comes to the man, every man knows internally whether he's met the woman who ignites his heart or not. And not every woman will do it for him. This is so important to understand because every man is not hardwired to be ignited by every single woman, even if she's pretty, even if whatever. Simply because every man has a different type of vision, right? He has a different type of vision, and he is going to lead in a certain way. And he needs a certain type of woman that can submit to that vision and come alongside him to fulfill a certain purpose on earth. And that's not always conscious. That's not, a man went to the mountain and he figured all that out. It's a very subconscious thing. But a man, especially a man who's ready for marriage, knows the direction that he's going in life. You could be a great woman. You can be a beautiful woman. But if you are going this way and he is going that way, he will not see you as the one. You will not get to that level. That does not mean that there's something wrong with you. It's just a man needs someone very specific to go this way. Not every woman is going exactly this way. If you are going this way, it's, again, every woman is not going the same direction that a man is going, okay? So that's really important to know, which is why when a man sees you as his dream girl, I tell women, like, you need to really take this into account. Like, oh, this man actually, he sees me as, nope, you're the one. You're my wife. And we hear those stories all the time with our clients. And it's not bad. It's just you have to, I would encourage women to give him a chance, because if he's identifying something in you that he feels like he can mesh with well, men know when they know, versus chasing a guy that you think is hot that either A, is not ready for marriage, is not in the market for marriage, or B, you just don't do it for him. Like, you're chasing a man just because he's hot. Great, right? But it's not every woman that will be his dream girl. So if you are a man's dream girl, even if you're like, oh, but he's too shorter than what I expected, please just give him a shot. Give him a shot. Hear him out. Vet him out. Scope him out. Pray about it. Talk to your father. Talk to your pastor. Get men involved so that you can really see if this is something that will be viable. Okay. Now, 2, this is important for you as a woman. You need to show up as your best self. Okay, so you need to level up your femininity, level up your attraction, and level up your social skills so that when the right man encounters you, he sees you as a wife instantly. I always tell women that really to being your type's type is just comes down to 2 things: looks and character. And I get it. Because we're Christian, oh, but I want to be a godly, virtuous woman. I'm not saying ignore those things. But what I am saying is that looks get you through the door and character helps you to stay in that room. Women to go into the whole prayer warrior mode and I'm praying and I'm such a virtuous woman, and they neglect their femininity. They don't have basic social skills. They don't know how to talk to men, right? And they're just assuming that God is going to manipulate a man to be with them. Let's stop that foolishness, right? But your beauty is what attracts him. We can't skip over that. Your beauty is what attracts him. Your character is what keeps him. Okay? So, as a woman, to have a more ideal outcome, right? To get to this goal of a man identifying you as the one, a huge part of a man identifying you as the one, first and foremost, is his attraction to you. He has to see you. And sometimes when you are not presented in the best way as far as femininely, his type, he's not attracted to you, you might be there. He might be passing by you all the time. You're a sister in Christ. He respects you. He honors you. But nothing is catching his attention because you don't look in a way that is attractive to him. So if you show up in a way that you start to understand a little bit more male psychology, okay, this is what men in general, let me position myself in such a way so that he sees me. Even Naomi told Ruth, before she went to Boaz's feast, she told her to go wash up, wear perfume, wear her best clothing, and then for her to position herself at Boaz's feet. Okay? But she didn't just go there looking however. She had to do some practical things before she positioned herself at Boaz's feet. So, all this to say, okay, which level are you at right now? And more importantly, which level are you trying to reach? Remember, this video is not about perfection. It's about positioning yourself for love and marriage that you truly desire. Drop your level in the comments. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about how you can level up to the one. Don't forget to subscribe for more dating strategy videos. Make sure you do click the link in the description box if you want more help when it comes to Christian dating. And I will speak to you guys later. Bye.